shouldn't fade, shouldn't dance. I lose on love. I win everywhere. Get us from the phone. Get us from the home. You're listening to Dominion Voice by
Looking at the theme difference and advantage in marriage. When we talk in terms of difference in marriage, I want to first of all share these statistics so that we can know and appreciate what we are talking about here today. Statistics show that approximately 38% of all Canadian marriages end up in divorce. You live in Canada, you work in Canada, 38%, statistics show that 38% ends up in divorce. I never knew that the data was as high as that. And it has continued to increase. And not only that, as far as it has continued to increase right from the 80s. Right from the 80s, it's been on the increase. And then recently, 50% of marriages last for only 7 years. Wow. That is, 50% of all marriages last for only 7 years. It's from the tick of the clock when you start ticking, just 50% ends up. 50% ends up in the first 7 years. 50% of marriages in the first 7 years end up being in divorce. And then the average length of marriages in this land, in our country, is just 14 years. Now, it calls for caution and it calls for great thing to look at very, very closely, because these data are staggering, they are scary. And I want us all to know that nobody is immune if care is not taken. If care is not taken. If care is not taken. And I've come also to realize also that to all marriages, to all spouses, I want us to know that there is no person who is 100% correct. You know, when you are going into the mall, for example, you want to go into Londonderry Mall, you realize that there are several entrances into Londonderry Mall. Am I right? Yeah. You will come from the west or from the east, from the north. But at the end of the day, you realize that we all get to the same mall. Now, in most cases, we realize after studies and results have shown that husbands and wife, everyone, they end up in having the same result, but we may not go through the same walkway. But everybody wants to say, hey, it has to be from the north. My mom told me it's always from the north. No. My dad told me it's always from the south. But at the end of the day, we get into the same place. So we'll be looking at this very, very closely. I want to look at Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. It says, the Lord said, it is not good for a man to be alone. I will make him a help suitable for him. So marriage shows that we are meant to help each other. And my helper should not be my competitor. Are you there? Yes. My helper, who is to complement me, should not be my competitor. So God said it's not good for a man or a woman to be alone. It's not good. So hence, God says, I will make him a helpmate. Proverbs chapter 30, 18 to 19 says, there are three things too wonderful for me to understand. No, 4. What are these things that are too wonderful to comprehend and understand? Number 1, how an eagle glides in the sky. How a serpent crawls upon a rock. How a ship finds its way across the hovering ocean. And then the growth of love between a man and a woman. No man can say exactly when you fell in love with your spouse. That I fell in love with her exactly 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, 30 seconds. You just don't know. It happens. And so also it is. Another portion of the scripture says the growth of love. And that is something that is very, very important. We have to realize that love grows. Love grows. The way you love your spouse today is not the way you will continue to love her. It grows. It continues to grow. It grows. So it shouldn't be anything out of place when you realize that you love your wife more than, or you love your spouse. When I say spouse, I mean husband and wife now, to make it balanced. You love your spouse the more. And that is the way it is intentioned by God. The growth of love between a man and a woman. Now we have to know, if we are going to look at what exactly is marriage. Biblically, I have to say biblically because there are different types of marriages. There are Asian marriage, there are North American marriage. Even in North America, there are varieties of marriages and all. In Africa, there are different types of marriages. There is polygamy, there is monogamy, and all different types of marriages. In fact, while I was researching, I realized that there are times, there's what we call even a woman marrying two men. When I discovered that is common in Asia, I said, wow. I have always known of polygamy. Every man has more than one wife. But now you have a woman having two husbands. And I begin to wonder, do they live in the same home? And all. So there are different types of marriages. However, there is one marriage that we are talking about here, and which is the man that have always withstood the test of time, which is the biblical marriage. It's a union between two people, a man and a woman. A man and a woman. Marriage is a long life journey, which is consummated in one single day, which we call the wedding day. Marriage is a long journey, but it is consummated in one single day. Now, what is different? Because we have to know, I just don't want to assume that we know exactly what we are talking about. So, what is different? We've known what marriage is. Marriage is a union between a man and a woman. Then what is different? Different is a point of view in which people or ways or things are not the same. They are not done the same. It's a feature of one distinction, a feature that distincts one person to another. When we talk of difference in mathematics, we talk of subtraction. But when it comes to marriage, no, it is not difference. Shouldn't be that which you subtract us. It should be that which you multiply and increase us. So, how does marriage thrive? Just quickly tip this in. Marriage thrives through, please note this, very, very important. It thrives through love, it thrives through giving, and it also thrives through sacrifice. These are the three major pillars. It thrives through love, it thrives through giving, and it thrives through sacrifice. Now, we all know what love is. I mean, even a high school child will tell you, I'm in love. But most of the time it's always infatuations. They don't know how to differentiate between love and infatuation, because if it is love, it has to be sacrificial. John 3:16 says, for God so loved, he gave. Love is always giving, is always giving, is always giving. And that is why it is very important. If somebody is asking for your hand in marriage and he is not interested in giving to you, maybe during your courtship period, it's a danger sign. Because if truly you love somebody, you will always want to give. In fact, you will always want to outgive each other. You will always want to outgive each other. I remember then when I was still cutting Tinu, and I had so much money then. You understand what I mean? I was always looking out to, how can I give to her? How can I give to her? How can I give to her? I thought so much I couldn't afford then to get a pair of shoes. So I went to a cobbler, I went to a shoemaker, and I said, can you design this shoe for me, because it was quite cheaper? And then he designed it. So when I said, oh, this is good. So I went and I gave it to her. The man used one kind of a funny leather, that when she wore it, at the back of her feet, it was hurting. The skin was peeling off. But she wore it and smiled at me just for me to know. For me to see. After wearing the first time, she didn't wear it again, and I didn't bother asking. But you know what? That was what I could afford, and I wanted to really give to her. And I tell people, when you are in a courtship relationship, for many people who are not yet married here, and you are looking out, please look out for that. Anyone, any of your spouse, either male or female, that you want to get married to, must give. If he's not a giver, it's a very dangerous sign. It's a very, very dangerous. I will tell you, think twice. Or ask for counsel, seek counsel. You understand what I'm saying? Seek counsel. I know there may be varieties of cultures and differences. If in some culture, when a guy takes a lady out and they get to the restaurant, the guy pays. Just says, don't worry, I'll pay. But I hear that some other culture, that when you go, everybody goes with his own card. and does the paying. You may pay for it once in a while, but don't let it be all the time. If you're a lady and you are dating a guy or cutting a guy, and he's always telling you to pay and pay and pay, hey, watch it, because it may be a red flag. So since marriage is a union between a man and a woman becoming husband and wife, please note one thing, that before they became husband and wife, they are both men and women. Am I right?
Yes.
I'm a man before I became a husband. You are a woman first before you became a wife. And then we have to know the differences that exist between the male man and the female woman, the male husband and the female wife. This difference does not change. You understand? I hope you get what I'm saying. You are a male. Once you are married, that does not mean immediately your system will change. No, you are still a man. So it is important for us to consider these differences and how they operate between man and wife. However, these differences, we have to know there are some exceptions. There are some exceptions to the rules. You understand what I'm saying? There are exceptions to the rules. So how exactly is a man wired before he becomes a husband? How exactly is a woman wired before she becomes a wife? Number one, please note this. Husband and wife, note this. A man, first and foremost, men are factual, they are logical, and they deal with facts and numbers. Men are logical. So let me say, your husband is logical. Your husband is factual. Your husband deals with facts and numbers. Example is Solomon and the two women, that is 1 Kings chapter 25. This is a story of the two harlots that one of them slept with the other. And Solomon said, hey, they brought them to the king. And he said, no, this one says the living one is mine. The other one says, no, the living one is mine. So they said, okay, who do we give it to? Solomon said, can I get a sword? And then let's split these children. The woman who gave birth to the child said, no, don't kill him. When this child grows, he would know exactly who the mother is. And the other one said, kill him, kill him, kill him. There is no way a woman will give birth to a child and would desire the child to die. So Solomon said, oh, I know the owner of the child, give it to this woman. These are factual basis, real, factual. While women are very intuitive, emotional, and feeling based, they attach feelings to events. What does it mean to be intuitive? It means that women are able to know or understand things because of feelings rather than facts. Women will say, oh, I feel this way. I just have this feeling. Some call it gut feeling. I just have this feeling. Women are always moved and directed a little bit by feelings, while men are always directed by facts. So that is why when you see husband and wife talking, the husband will say, can you please let me have the facts? You might say, I don't have any fact, but something just tells me inside. So let us understand this with our spouses. A lot of homes have gone through challenges because of this. We have to understand how the man is wired and how the woman is wired. Number two, because of this intuitive nature in man tends to define and classify challenges and solve problems and challenges and problems and then solve them. Men are wired in such a way that they can put problems and challenges into compartment. A man can take his office challenge and put it in the office. Well, wife challenge in another compartment. In-law challenge in another compartment. And they will still be fine, And when men want to solve problems, once they are put it in compartment, they address it. They look at it because they are not moved by sentiment, emotions. So that's my husband is not emotional at all. My husband is not emotional. He doesn't care. No. Men can put things into compartment and then solve them. Solve the problem with little or no emotions are involved. They can solve it and say, hey, no emotion involved. An example of that story is 2 Samuel chapter 18, verse 10 to 11. Verse 10 to 11, when there's this young son of David who felt, his name is Absalom, he felt that, hey, I think My father refused to die so quickly, and I want to become king. So he declared himself as king. He plotted a coup. And David had to run away from the palace because the whole nation had gone with him. You know, and the Bible says a king's honor is in the multitude of his people. It's in the multitude of his people. So the multitude of people had gone with Absalom. So David had to run away, and Absalom went after him. But unfortunately, Absalom, while he was going, he had long hairs, his hair coiled to the tree and was on there. And there was a young man that came to tell Absalom, Joab. Now, Joab is the chief army of David. The chief army, he's one of the generals. So this young man came to tell Joab that I saw Absalom. His hair was coiled and is hung on the tree. And Joab asked him, did you kill him? He said, no. He said, if you had killed him, I would have given you great reward. Absalom was out just to solve the problem because he had to run away out of the city with David. He went straight, he saw Absalom there, and he killed him. Straight up, without sentiment. And that is the nature of man. Men always want to look at issue, solve it, and move on. Solve it and move on. But what of women? Women don't solve problems that way. Men, we have to understand. Women solve problems on the broad terms. They consider a wide range of factors before solving them. You want to solve a problem, a woman first of all look at what is the effect on it on the children? What is the effect on it on our in-laws? What is the effect? But the man says, hey, whether child or no child, let's solve this problem. And women will say, no, we have to solve it. We've got to solve it, but let's consider the pros and the coin. Let's consider this, let's consider that. Women, they will talk out the problems. They would like to discuss. They like to talk out the problems before solving it. That is why women tend to provide details in meeting. When you go for meetings, and then women should give report, they will tell you, okay, how does it go? Say this and this. The men in the meeting will say, oh man, come on, Patricia, come on, just tell us. And she wants to give you the details. She wants to give you the details of how it all went. Hey, Calvin is clapping. I hope it's not like that. We don't want to give you the details. Say, oh, just be calm, be calm. So we men have to be patient. That is how a woman is wired. That's the way she's configured. That's the way she's configured. And we have to know this, and we have to be patient. I decide not to look at no side, Many times when we are having a discussion, I say, hey, how was it? How was work today? Say yes, or maybe she wants to relay a message to me on phone. So say, okay, it started from here, and then it moved to here, and then it moved to here. While I'm listening, I'll say, then she will tell me, oh, you don't want to listen? I say, oh, no, I want to listen. But I just want to have a summary. I want to have an abridged. Just give me the abridged, give me the summary. But she wants to give it to me one after the other. But I've come to realize that is a woman. And that's a woman. That's a woman. She wants to get it out. She wants to take it one by one. How was work today? Yes. When I turned on the vehicle, it was snowing outside. It was really cold. Then I wore my jacket. I sat. Then we drove. You won't believe it. What is the question? How's work today? You won't believe it. When we got to 50th Street, there was an accident there. It was really bad. So we had traffic. How was work today? So that's a woman. And we have to get used to that.